go. Fish on, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On this episode, we are on the local lake by our house. We came back to do a little bit more freshwater and give the saltwater a break for a few trips out. But as we're out here, I want to say this lake has changed in the past 4 years of me fishing it dramatically. I used to come out here and catch 20, 21s, 22s every trip. Happened for about 2 years, or it stayed that way for about 2 years, and I noticed it getting worse and worse as far as size. Quantity was still floating around here, just the quality has gone down quite a bit. And I know a lot of the reason is because of the area building up, a lot more people moving down here and it getting overfished. You know, the fish are probably like, yeah, last time I saw that go by me, put my big lips around it, I got ripped out of the water, I got molested by someone and thrown back in the water like a cheap date, and I don't want to feel that again. And I think that's what's happening. I think that the 100-acre lake that I'm on is just overfished, overpressured, and the fish are getting smart. So it's been tough, but we want to go after it today. We want to chase the fish via hard baits, not sitting here all day and, you know, moving slow and just using soft baits. We want to go back to the way we used to catch a fish here with a lipless, a crankbait, you know, spinner bait, etc. So come along for the ride and let's see how we do this episode. And our goal is probably going to be 80 inches on the bump board based on the average lately of it just being 16 inches on average for each fish. So if I get 5 at 16, that's 80 inches. If we get over 80 inches, so be it. That's great. That means that we can get some of those bigger fish to bite again. But let's see how we make out today, guys. We have an overcast, foggy morning right now, so we like that. Keeps the sun off us. I don't have one spinning setup today. I have nothing finesse. The only thing finesse I have is a Texas rig worm, which is the fatties. So it's a little bit smaller than the mag fatties, but that's it. We have no spinning setup. So we have a crankbait, a lipless, a jig, Texas rig, and top water. I have a the Chapo, I think. The water level is down about probably 2.5 feet because we've had like no rain down here. It's been hot, dry. Everybody's grass is dying, so the water level on this body of water has settled quite a bit actually. Because I'm looking right here, because normally I would be in about 4.8 feet of water. Normally this would probably be about 6.8 feet of water, almost 7. So it's down quite a bit. Water temperature is 84 degrees, and I see some top water action going over there now, so we're gonna go after it. But that's it, guys. Wish us luck. We got 6 hours. This is like, there we go. Fish on, guys. This is like fishing saltwater. And I didn't bring my net with me today because I didn't want to deal with it. He's off. He's off. He's off. Relax there, guy. Okay. Craziness. Craziness. Wild fish. Yeah, look at even the color on them is different. Look how much red's there and stuff. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. But as you see, probably only about 16 inches. You know, just like the fish around here lately have just been very, very small to what it's normally. So let's see what we can get here out of him. I think 14.5, if I can see here in the darkness here. All right, 14.5 for the first fish. Nothing super giant, but the top water bite was nice. And here you go. As you can see, I got so many hard baits today. I actually had to break out one of my old Mojo Bass St. Croix rod for my lipless and my crankbaits, and I got my KastKing Royale Legend 2 on here, but we had to break out some old rods because we only have so many of the same kind of rods to do our fishing as far as like crankbaits and everything else. So we just want to bring out everything that we possibly have in our arsenal for freshwater to just throw hard baits all day and get these fish to bite actively. You can pretty much see fog's really moving. Can't see that far, but I'll still take this over blinding sun, being hot and burning my bald head. Alright guys, we're at the 2-hour mark since we caught our first fish this morning. It's been very quiet. It covered quite a bit of water. We're gonna try a couple more coves. I see a lot of top water activity, but I know it's not bass. It's definitely turned into a tougher body of water than what it used to be 4 years ago. It's a lot different. Makes it more challenging, so let's see. We need 4 more fish and we need to be able to make that 80-inch mark today. Alright guys. He side hooked him. And he's off. Means that they're hanging right here at that transition of the bank. Where'd you go? Get over here. Really? Are you done? Are you just gonna scare everybody? Is that what we're gonna do? Probably another 14 and a half, not even. 13 and a quarter. All right guys, 13 and a quarter. All right, with 2 fish, that puts us at 27 and 3/4. It's a long ways from 80 inches. That's what scares me. But at least we maybe found some fish back here, because there is 3 or 4 gators I see. So like I say, normally when there's alligators, there's fish. All right guys. That's a white bass. Not what we're after. Not what we're after. Alright guys, not what we're after, but another fish. So we're following back up right now with just the crankbait, and then I think we're going to run along some of the structure with the Texas rig too in this area and see if we can pick up a couple more bass. That's what we're looking for, bass. Nothing else but bass. That's what we want guys, bass. Bass, bass, bass. Largemouth, smallmouth, which I know there's no smallmouth here, but at least largemouth. Because we are a long way away from our goal and time is going quick. So on a good note, at least the 3 fish that we caught so far have been on active baits. 1 on the top water, 2 on the lipless. I see some bait schools. I see some top water activity, but I don't see many big marks. And what I think I may want to do is there's that bank right over there to the left, and there's a shade line that runs down the whole thing. I may run the crankbait parallel to that bank and also the Texas, but I'm hoping I can get a few more here on the lipless just randomly, because this bank kind of comes up in transitions from 8 to 5 to 4 to 3 feet. So I'm kind of working along that bank right now with this. And I have caught multiple fish here before in the same location using the same tactics. Alright guys, I didn't want to, but I did change over to the Texas rig real quick along this bank because the crankbait and the lipless wasn't producing. So as soon as I dropped it in the water, first cast, got a fish. As much as I don't want to slow down, they're hiding next to this shady line against the bank. But once again, nothing super huge. It's about 13 once he relaxes his tail. Almost 13 and a quarter. All right guys, 13. All right, well that fish puts us at 40 and 3/4 for three of our fish at 40 and 3/4. So halfway there. We've got a long ways to go. hit that 80-inch mark, especially at this rate of these fish being so small. Doesn't feel big though. Maybe a little bigger, maybe. Doesn't look like it though. Man, they are all the same size. At least I know where they're hiding though. They're hiding out of the sun just like I am. Let's get this one measured up and on its way. 13.5 it looks. Man, you guys do not want me to get that 8 inches today, do you guys? This lake is being difficult. Alright guys, 13.5. Alright, that puts us at 54.25 inches for 4 fish. Really could use that 20 or 18 to really get us up here. But we did find out where they're hiding. They're hiding out of the sun just like we are. So we're gonna back ourselves up here a bit and keep working this bank. Much as I didn't want to go the soft plastic Texas rig route today, that's why I always have a Texas rig setup tied on, whether it's small, big, whatever, creature bait. But I always suggest having at least a Texas rig setup always tied on when you come out fishing, because you never know when you got to change and work these shade lines and get tight to structure. You're not going to be able to do that with a crankbait or a lipless or anything with treble hooks, that's for sure. So always have a Texas rig tied on, ready to go as a follow-up bait or just a main bait that once you find that pattern where they are, it works. So, you know, I always say soft plastics is my thing. I'm just trying to catch more fish without using it all the time. To change up the way we catch them, make different content for you guys, and have a little bit more fun than sitting here casting the worm, waiting to feel that thump and reel it in. It's still a great thing to have that tug, but it's always good catching fish different ways. But always have a Texas rig ready to go. Nope, he came off. That would have been our limit. Luckily it's probably about 14 inches. Still, once again, nothing huge. I didn't get a good hook set on him because he was coming at the boat. Ooh. Well, that's definitely a gar or a bowfin because I ripped my hook right off clean. So we'll get ourselves retied with another Texas rig here and keep working these shadow lines. And our Texas rig setup today is the 1/8 ounce weight, bullet weight, with a 3/0 hook, June bug color of the fatties from Z-Man. That's my more finesse style setup instead of using the mag fatties. And it seems like it's been working better lately than the actual mag fatties. Even though the mag fatties will work, it's just that the smaller bait seems like it catches a little bit more fish than the bigger one right now. Alright guys, we're gonna go back up front here, try for some little bit more active fish. Crankbait lipless. Then we'll finish out with the Texas along the bank. We're gonna leave the shadow line, shade line in the back here and just see if we can grab some more. We got about an hour left on the water. We're probably gonna do about maybe 5 hours today, probably not to 6, but I'm still hoping to get 5 fish, get our limit, and still upgrade to be able to get to that 80-inch mark. So stay tuned, let's see here. All right, we got no active feeders on the crank or the lipless, and we also threw spinner bait for about half an hour. Nothing bit on that, so we're going to finish out the day with the Texas rig. We're going to work along this bank in front of us. Shadow lines will come down where it's sunny and see if there's any active ones along the bank up shallow, and we'll see if we can limit out here and maybe possibly upgrade enough to get our 80-inch mark. Get in the boat. And this is why I will always have a Texas rig tied on. A little bit of an upgrade, and it got us our 5 fish. Ow. Did I just hook myself? All right, maybe a 15 and a half, 16 out of him. Let's see. All right, guys, 15 and a quarter. All right, guys, we got our limit. We're at 69 and a half. We need 10 and a half more inches to make our 80-inch limit. We are at our 5 fish limit, so now we need an upgrade, a few upgrades to really get our 80-inch mark here, and we got about 25 minutes or so left here, so let's see what we can do. I don't know if the back camera caught that, hopefully it did, but I just was reeling this in and the fish came up and grabbed the tail. Once again, not a big fish, but it grabbed it as I was reeling it in. All right, guys, well, we didn't get any more fish. We are packing it in. We are done for today because of the heat. If it wasn't for the Texas rig, we would have never made our limit today. We missed a couple on the Texas. I was happy I got the top order bite this morning and a couple on the lipless, but if it wasn't for that Texas rig, we would never gotten our limit and we would never ended up with 69 and a half inches. Yes, we fell short of our goal. As you can tell, I know this lake pretty well now, that the big ones are hard to get anymore. If they're still here, if the gators didn't get them. And it's just a bunch of little fish, you know, that 13 to, I think our biggest fish today was 15 and a quarter. So a lot of small fish. I think I'm gonna let this lake be my little lake to go to do water testing on kayaks and to get my fix when I need just a couple fish to, you know, feel like I got something for the week. We will come back here more when it cools down, because I notice when it cools down, like the October, November forest down here, the bigger fish are biting at that time. Always have a Texas rig tied on. That's all I can say. You know, no matter what, that will always catch you fish. I can promise you. It may not catch you as many as you want, and you got to fish slower, but you will always catch a fish on a Texas rig. That's the most important thing, is always to have one tied on as your backup bait, or at least have the terminal tackle with you and the soft plastics with you to be able to do that if you don't have it tied on right from the beginning. I would always tie one on if you have enough rods to always have that backup right there with you, and like I said, a follow-up bait. It's always worth having them tied on, having something tied on, a creature, worm, whatever. That's it, guys. We are gonna go cool down because it is hot. Thank God there's a breeze out here today. If it wasn't, I'd probably be done already. So as always, guys, I really appreciate all you stopping by. All of you guys who have subscribed already, hit that thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys soon. I hope you guys like this video, and remember, always have a Texas rig tied on. As always, guys, be safe on the water, and I'll catch you on the water. See you soon, and I look forward to what's coming up here yet.